Alright, so I figured I'd just make a video of what I've learned on the Nashville Super Speedway. Maybe it'll be helpful for you. Maybe it'll be something you can use or something you do different that you might want to share. But kind of show you just some of the things I've been doing. So I'll just run some laps here. My best time is a 29:71, but that was on like 4 laps. On 3 laps, 29:73 was my fastest lap. So that's a pretty good qualifying pace, looks like. Um, but yeah, we'll just go ahead and get started here. So just going to talk about a few things. One of the things I kind of wanted to talk about is the access road and this yellow paint here. So what you're going to see is I'm not going to touch this yellow paint. In actually practice I did and might show up on here, but this road here, this paint here is not actually on the racetrack. It's on the access road. And so if you touch this, it de-wedges the car and will shoot the car up a little bit. So you don't want to do that because it's going to hurt your exit. See if I can change this angle a little bit. All right, and then coming into three, nothing too bad on three, but what you want to watch for is you'll see the car bounce here in a minute, and that's the bump, right? So if you are going full throttle or more than 140 miles an hour, 145 miles an hour, and you're full throttle, it'll spin that car out. So you just want to be cautious of that. Real throttle control there is going to be key. If again, once until the tires and some of the fuel load burns off, then you can go down there and do it a little bit different. But um, here there is shifting in the fourth gear. I found that that's the fastest. And same thing, you want to stay off the apron. And then right about here, let me pause this video real quick. Back it up a little bit. So one of the things I look for when I'm going through um, the center of the corner in turn two is I'm looking for this access road in my peripheral vision. So you'll see my throttle input. So what I'm looking for, and I might have to go to cockpit view so you get the full view of this. So I'm waiting for this this access road to kind of pop up, and so you see my throttle right there. So I see it, and I'm on it. Okay. Now, in all actuality, I got on this a little bit too early. Okay, and I think you might see it here, but I believe I get loose coming out of this corner, and well, maybe not. I might have slowed the car down a little bit too much, so it might be okay. But I'm at 145 miles an hour, right? So I found that if I was at 145 miles when I hit that access road full throttle, the car would get loose on me. So the car wasn't too bad there. So let me go back to the other view. So some of the things that I look for is these walls. So once I pass right about here, you'll see me start pointing the car in. And also, I don't shift. I keep it in fourth the entire backstretch. So here, just being patient, holding full half, three-quarter throttles, feel that bump, and then get back to full throttle. Okay. So we'll go with cockpit mode for this next lap. And I believe, let's see. So what I'm looking for is this here. Okay. And what I'm looking for is I pass it, a couple of car lengths, and then before I get to here, I start pointing the car in. Right? So I'm pointing the car in. And you can see my throttle is already off. Right? So once I'm past this sign, you'll see me start lowering out the throttle, giving it some brake, looking to be down here. So I'm still in fifth gear, but you will see me shift right about here. So when I get to this midway of this sign here, right around this Geico area is where you'll see me start shifting. So right about here. And then I'm basically dragging the brake, getting it to slow down so I can get this car down, not on the yellow line, but right around the seam or a little bit below that seam. So dragging the brake still, letting the car roll, then giving it a little bit of throttle to help that car rotate. Right, increasing the gas a little bit, but not full throttle yet. Wait until I see that access road. So there's the access road. This time I waited till I got past or even with that access road and then stepped on the gas. So obviously I got some consistency work to do on my end to do that regularly, but it's just the helpful markers for me that I use. Okay, and then here, you want to get close to the wall. If you back off the wall a little bit and then come back towards it before the current, it'll probably help you as far as the not losing any time because of the wall proximity. But here you can see again, when I get to here, I just crack the throttle a little bit, and then I'll continue to drop it. So right about there, so before the sign, I'm starting to drop it. I'm not touching the brake yet until the car starts getting to the bottom, and then I kind of use the brake to help keep the car down there. And then I'll gas it up. I'll wait for that bump. There it is, 3/4, full throttle out. Ride it all the way down to the apron, so 29.76. So take it to my best time. So this is my warm-up lap. Trying to be consistent on my markers, but again, make sure you don't hit this yellow line because it will de-wedge the car, and then it just really hurts your exit. As you can see, I'm close. I actually touched it just a hair, and so I'm fighting the car on exit. Hit my marker, turning in off the throttle. This time I let the car coast and start dragging the brake once it gets to the bottom to help it hold it there. And then when I feel the car is going to do, I give it a little bit of throttle to rotate, hit the bump. I've now increased it full throttle. So this is the warm-up lap here. So go to take it down to the apron. Shift into fifth as soon as I can. So 29.87. So same thing, going to be looking for this marker, start my turn in, and downshift, get the car pointed down here. Once I feel it'll stick, start working that throttle, looking for that access road, there it is, and then full throttle. Right, keeps the car stable on exit, not burning that right front by pushing it. Hold it close to the wall. We're looking for this blue road here, and we're going to start turning in now. Let off the throttle. So back this up here. So you can see I'm not completely off the throttle. I just start letting off the throttle, so I start letting the car start slow it down, but not slow it down too much. So I really should have held it about 3/4 throttle until I got up close to this pole, maybe another 6 feet before I start doing it. Then I'm completely off, barely touching the brake, letting the engine do more of the work than anything else. I'm still in fourth gear. I found that fourth gear and qualifying on the backstretch is much faster than keeping it in fifth gear on the backstretch. So once I feel the car is going to stay there, I just basically let it stay. Then again, looking at this purple sign here on the wall as another marker for mine that when I should be able to start getting back on the throttle. But just feel like when the car is going to grip, then I'll try to test the gas just to see what the car is going to do. And then 3/4, there's the bump, and then I'll start increasing my throttle if I feel that it's stuck down there. So here you can see it took me a little bit longer. And then basically going to ride it out from here. this time I'm going to cut it down a little bit earlier, all the way down. It should have been further down. That was a 29.74. So I know I'm not the best person at this Nashville track, but this is what I found. Let me touch on my settings real quick. So I'm running 236 with the -1, debating on changing it to -2. Running 7/8, 27, 30 seconds, and then a brake bias of 44.3. Let me talk about the brake bias real quick. This is pretty low for me, and extreme caution if you're going to run this, because if you apply the brake too much, especially coming on a pit road, it doesn't do very well. It'll be real easy to spin the car up. So if you do run this in the race, that's probably fine. But before you go on the pit road, you might want to raise this up to raise it up about 2 or 3% to take some of that rear brake out for when you're pitting. But then you just have to remember to adjust it once you come back out. So yeah, that's about all I got. But figured I'd just share with you what I've learned so far, and hopefully it helps. And talk to you later. See ya.